Sup nerds, I'm Tom. Y'all ever see that movie Seven with Brad Pitt? Well, this is kind of it. It's not at all, actually.
What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's in
gun.
the fucking box?
So the Deadlies is a very light card game based off of the seven deadly sins. You know, they've got pride, gluttony, sloth, lust, all of that. I'm not gonna watch the movie with Brad Pitt. It's a great movie. But the object of this game is to get rid of your entire hand like multiple times. You have this little token in front of you that shows you what your hand size is, and as you get rid of them, whenever you empty out your hand completely, you rotate this thing. So now my hand size was 6, and now it's 4. If you can get it all the way to 0, then you win. And at first I was wondering why this thing is double-sided. Like, it has a 4 on the top and a 4 on the bottom and a 6 on this side and a 6 on that side. And then you flip it over and it has 2 2s and 2 0s. I'm like, why didn't they just have 1 2 3 4? And I mean, I'm thinking it's mainly so that way other players can look and see what you're at. You know what I mean? It's whatever. So if the object of the game is to get rid of your cards, well, how do you do that? Well, you can actually play multiple cards at once. You only ever actually get to play whatever card is on top when you dump all these cards. But the cards are numbered 1 to 7, and there's 7 different suits. So you can play either all the same suit, all the same number, or in like a straight. So you could play, 3 blues. I could play this 3 fours, which is I've got a blue, a purple, and a brown, and the brown's on top, so that's going to be the one that triggers. Or I can play this 1 2 3 4 5, and again, the suit wouldn't matter in that case. There's no straight flush or whatever, and it's only whatever you play on top that matters. And it's kind of a take that-esque, let's see, for example, Wrath here. You can force another player to draw cards, but if they have a wrath, they can force you to draw cards until you go back and forth. Gluttony is you either take a random card from another player's hand, or you draw 3 cards and you take another turn. So, it's like you're eating a whole bunch there. Pride, you ask another player if they have pride. If they don't, they draw a card. If they can reveal a pride, you draw a card instead. They're all kind of based off of the deadly sin that the card is named after a little bit. I think greed is probably my favorite because it adds like a little mini game. I mean, you could argue that all of these have little mini games in them because they have strategy. Again, pride and wrath, you have to kind of know what your opponent has or guess what your opponent has. Based on the number of cards they have left and stuff like that. But greed is this deal cards to other players. You may stop after dealing at least 2 that are not greed. If any 2 other than greed match suits, stop and place them all in your hand instead. If you deal 5 cards successfully, you discard your whole hand. So it's a mini press your luck game there. I'm using the word mini a lot because this game is really light and really quick. It's pretty much a filler. And when I was explaining it to some people, I didn't initially think this, but they were like, oh, this is like Uno. And I kind of don't like that comparison. It's kind of accurate that it's a small card game where you're trying to empty out your hand, right? Okay, sure, that's a lot like Uno, but this is better than Uno. I mean, this is deeper. Again, every card has a lot more strategy to it. Each card that you get to play has more strategy, but also playing the cards has more strategy because you're like, ooh, do I want to play all these blue? Do I want to play a set? Do I want to play all the same number? But there are also these 3 other cards that don't follow the suits. There's Corruption, that's an 8, and it's a wild, so you get to play that one a lot. But the biggest thing is this Purity Halo combo. So the Halo is never in the deck, and it's important to never put it in the deck because somebody could just draw this and win the game. So you don't want to actually mix this into the deck accidentally. I did that, and it really kind of ruined the game. But Purity lets you put the Halo in your hand. So you play Purity, you pick up the Halo that's not in the deck or a discard pile or anything. It's just in the center of the table, or it's in somebody else's hand. You pick it up, and then you have to wait around before you can play it. The Halo lets you dump your whole hand. So everybody knows that you have that, so they're going to target you. So that's another cool aspect. I like that. That's pretty much it. That's all I can talk about with this game. It's light, it's quick, it's fun. It has a little bit of depth. It's small enough that you can put it in, you can keep it in your car. It's like a travel size game. I mean, obviously I don't love it. By definition, I never really love small box games. I enjoy filler games. They're fine for what they are, but my excitement is always for bigger games. This has got good art. The card quality is okay. I mean, it's pretty much decent all around. I really don't have any complaints other than the fact that it's just not I don't want to say it's not my cup of tea, but it's not my favorite category. I don't know. It's like, was that a good romantic comedy movie? I mean, I guess it was a good romantic comedy. I just don't really care about romantic comedies. But if you're looking for a light filler game that does have some interesting choices, or if you want to teach your kids what the 7 deadly sins are or something, I do think this would be pretty easy to play with younger kids. It says 10 and up on the box. My niece is 9. She'd probably be able to handle this no problem. If this sounds interesting to you at all, I am going to have a purchase link to this game in the description box down below. Also in the description box down below, there's going to be information about this game topper right here. It's super dope. You can actually put, look at this. It's got a little railing that can hold your cards. Look at that. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.